Hello, this is I'm Bored, Let's Do Something. I'm your host, Zack, and our director today is Gerardo. Today we're going to be carving pumpkins. It is a fun activity for Halloween, or you can carve a pumpkin and cut the insides out and make like pumpkin pie or pumpkin cookies. You could do a lot of things with a pumpkin. Now, Halloween is past, but since we have pumpkins, we can carve it. You will need a knife, a template, a bowl, a spoon, and a needle or a push pin. Now, I would recommend a push pin because it's a lot easier. So to start off for your pumpkin carving, you want to get a knife, and you need to be really careful with this part. You want to cut the top, and when the top is cut through and even, you can take the top off. Once the top is off, you want to get your spoon and your bowl, and then you want to start getting all the guts, seeds, everything out of it. Once the guts and seeds are in, and put it in a bowl, much easier and cleaner. You want to start thinning out the walls. Once the walls are starting to thin out, then you can it'll be easier to carve when you're in that process of carving. So once your pumpkin is hollowed out and ready to go, you want to get your template, and I prefer tape to put on the pumpkin so you can actually stick it on there, and it'll be easy to carve and even to carve. And then you want to get your push pin or your needle, and you want to start following the design with it. And with the design, it will leave a design on the pumpkin with little dots on it. And then when you're done following all the design, it should look something like this. I kind of made the design a little bit noticeable because if you just had the little dots on it, it would be hard to look at. But this is what it should look like with all the little design on it. And then once you have the design on it, you can start carving it. I'd be extremely careful with this. You can either use a knife or an approved cutting utensil. Cutting utensil is kind of easier, but whatever you want to do. I recommend doing the eyes first because it's the easiest and less stressful. So you can start cutting out the eyes with the template and the nose and the other eye, and it should easily come out. If it's not easily coming out, just recarve what you have and don't give up, don't get angry. That's the one thing is patience with this thing and time. If you don't have patience and time, it's going to look bad and kind of sloppy. Once the eyes are cut out, then you can start cutting out the mouth. Now the mouth is probably the hardest part out of this whole thing because it is time consuming, and if you don't have time or patience on it, it will look bad and sloppy. Now I would recommend doing the left side first and cut about midpoint. Once the midpoint to left, then you can take the chunk out, and then the middle, chunk out, and then the end, and take the chunk out. It's pretty hard. If the walls aren't thin enough to actually cut through, you probably want to thin the walls a little bit more. But it's pretty hard to not do it if you don't have like time or patience. And it should look something like this. The eyes, the mouth are cut out, and it looks pretty good. When you're done with it, you can put either a candle or an electric candle in there. I would recommend an electric candle because it looks the same, has different colors, and is not a fire hazard. So this is I'm Bored, Let's Do Something. I'm your host, Zack, and we'll see you next time.
Talking me down, bring up